Okay, so if you watched yesterday's video, now it's very pointy. There is a problem with this. I'm not going to be able to get into right in here to do the grinding, so it's going to be a bit of a, I know that the end result is going to be pretty rough, but that's okay, let's just accept that. I'm going to put this core in it here, this sort of brass core with copper buttons. This is by NTO Designs. Yeah, so we're going to grind, just going to grind the flats. I'm going to get that little tag off, that's from the water jet cutting. So once I've sanded the flats, taken the tag off, going to put it in the tumbler, which is that machine right there, and that'll just sort of round the whole thing, take the sharp edges off, make it a bit more user friendly. And yeah, you know what, I'm really curious as to what, sorry about the noise by the way, it's absolutely pouring with rain. So yeah, I'm really curious as to how this is going to turn out. So that is it. I did do a little bit in there of each one just to sort of do it, and I also, you know, there was a little bit of an angle on each tip, so I grounded the tips. I'm going to put them in this machine here for 2 hours, or 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. It'll make it nice and rounded, give it a stone wash finish, and make it look generally just darker, kind of scratched looking, not as shiny as this, but it'll feel really nice to the touch, because right now it's like some sort of ninja star thing, which it is anyway. But anyway, let's tumble. Going to film outside, a lot of noise in there, I don't want to stop the noise. That hissing sound is about 1 million cicadas up in those trees over there. So I'm going to go down around the back, try and get away from that sound. Finish is really good actually. Obviously, like I mentioned, in there, if you look in there, is all, I just don't have the tools to get into those little corners in there, but you know, it's going to be fine. I can feel on my fingers that, you know, I think it's going to be okay for spinning. So yeah, I'm absolutely itching to just try it. I mean, there's no that was sore actually. I was going to say there's no sharpness to it, but if you squeeze that hard, that's a little bit kind of sore. But it's not going to cut you, you know, like. It's not gonna like cut you if you stab it into yourself, but it's not sharp. That's the main thing. So what I'm gonna do now is go back inside and put the core in it. Oh, let me get this for you. This is the core here. Whoa, these things spin. I'm gonna put this core in it. This is a brass core from NTO Designs. It's got a nice little pattern on it. I thought that would go well with this sort of aggressive kind of ninja star shape, so you know, rather than the copper button. So let's see how this goes.
Don't you know, it is getting hard.
Right, so we have a spinner. It's spin. You know what's funny? It spins. You know, because of the camera and the sort of the frame rate of the camera. You know, when you spin a spinner and it does that kind of backwards thing. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah. So it this is an amazing effect with that one. So I'll let you take a closer look. So yeah, it's interesting. I will be brutally honest. It's, you know, it's got good points and bad points. Like, it's unbelievably comfortable in there. You know, when you spin it with your finger there, it's really comfortable. You know, you can just spin. You know, just finger goes in there. It's comfortable. It flicks towards the edges. You know, even though it's not sharp, it's still kind of pointy. You can feel it. It's a hot spot. I think that's the term for it. It's a hot spot for sure. You can go like this, which works pretty well. I would maybe call this one the spur or something. Like, it's kind of like a cowboy spur, you know, on a cowboy boot. Maybe ninja, maybe samurai, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. I'm yet to decide a name for it. But it's definitely interesting. It works way better than I thought. Could do with beveling around there and that kind of thing. You know, it's very flat. In here you can see it's pretty rough. Well, you would have seen it earlier, not so much now when it's zoomed out with the other camera. But it's good. You know, it's certainly functional. The buttons are sticking out somewhat, so you can do a table spin. I'm not sure what else to say about it really. I'll leave it to you to tell me. Tell me in the comments, what do you think of it? It spins well, it's somewhat comfortable. It's a little bit of sort of spikiness to it, but you know, we can maybe bevel those out. But yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts for sure.
Don't you know, it is getting old, it is getting hard, hard. Any secrets to be a prince, to be a part of me. Any heart. Don't you know, it is getting old, it is getting hard, hard. Don't you know, it is getting old, it is getting hard, hard. Any secrets to be a prince, to be a part of me. Don't you know, it is getting old, it is getting hard, Any secrets to be a prince, to be a part of me.
Now, I will leave you with a quote. It is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he said, "Shallow men believe in luck or in circumstance. Strong men believe in cause and effect."
Don't you know,